Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review for another anniversary review. Another anniversary review from 30th anniversary from 1987, and another great, fantastic class, let alone beyond a classic film, because I love this film a lot. Definitely one of the most classic ones from the 80s, without a doubt. And what could be already said about this particular film that a lot of people have already said about it? That it's fun, kick ass, let alone badass. And the 30th anniversary of the awesome '87 film Robocop. Now this I have here as part of a trilogy, contains the second and the third film. I like the second film. I do. It's a good sequel. Not as good as the first one though, by a long shot. But good. Number two is a good sequel. Three sucks. That's being blunt. That everybody says about it. But the first one, was like I said, what can be said about the first one is, as a lot of people have already said it. Peter Weller, perfect casting as RoboCop. Love Peter Weller, which I've enjoyed him in other films as well, since of Unknown Origin, and then Little Leviathan. Peter Weller, top notch as RoboCop. Then you got Nancy Allen, who's in it. She's in it for sporadically, not for a whole lot though, but she still does a good job as Lewis, Officer Lewis, his Alex Murphy, who's RoboCop, his new partner. Ronny Cox, great bad guy. I enjoy Ronny Cox. Kurtwood Smith, another great bad guy who I also enjoy as an actor from many other films that he starred in, as Clarence Boddicker, great bad guy. So yeah, and Miguel, and you got the late Miguel Ferrer, who passed away earlier, pretty much in the start of this year. May he rest in peace, as Bob Morton, the guy who created RoboCop. May he rest in peace. I enjoy Miguel Ferrer. And great directing from Paul Verhoeven, from Total Recall, Starship Troopers. Yeah, a Basic Instinct I'm still alright on. I enjoy Hollow Man. Of course, Showgirls, I'm sure a lot of people nowadays tend to, I guess, well, Showgirls is not for everybody, just put it that way, and to me, I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to forgive Paul Verhoeven for Showgirls, because when you got RoboCop and Total Recall and Hollow Man and Starship Troopers, I'm sure a lot of people tend to forgive Paul Verhoeven for that film, though. Still not a fan of it though, but still, it's people can just let that. Okay, he directed that film. It's like, okay, whatever, let it go. But yeah. But with the other films that I enjoy from Paul Verhoeven, like Basic Instinct, I still think it's all right though. But other films I enjoyed from Paul Verhoeven. I wish Paul Verhoeven would just come back for another good film. He hasn't directed. The last good film was Hollow Man, and that was all the way back in 2000. It's the same thing with John McTiernan. Whatever happened to that director? And same with Paul Verhoeven. Why can't he just come back? I miss those directors that directed good films. But all that said, like I said, that RoboCop, just a classic from the 80s, more than a classic. It spawned video games, comic books. There's I think there was been crossovers as well, like especially the Terminator. Like there was like a video game. I think there was a video game or a comic book with the Terminator. And then there was an animated series which I remember back. I saw an episode from back in the day, an episode of an animated RoboCop TV series. And of course, the 2014 remake. The guy who played RoboCop has nothing what Peter Weller has. And it did well financially and critically. It won 5 Saturn Awards, and an Academy Award for Best Sound Editing, and let alone being nominated for Best uh, Editing and Sound Mixing. It has an 80% Rotten Tomatoes, has a 7.5 on IMDb, deserves them. And like I said, it takes place in the future in Detroit. Crime is high, and Alex Murphy, Peter Weller, he just transferred to the precinct in Detroit, and his partner with Nancy Allen. Little character traits that he has, a good character trait is when he does with his gun, twirling it. Something that his son does. That his son liked from a TV show they like called TJ. What was it, Taser? Sorry, it was so called Taser, TJ Taser or something like that. It was a show that his son liked, and wherever he takes on a bad guy, does this. Good character, good character trait for Peter Weller, Alex Murphy, and when he gets partner up, you have to go to this steel mill, and Kurtwood Smith and as Clarence Barker and his ruthless gang just brutally murder Alex Murphy. And I love about it, it's art, and I love that it's R-rated. The blood and the gore is there. And also good special effects, great special effects as well. The Ed 209, good use of stop motion animation. Just one of the best scenes of the movie is when Ronny Cox has his Ed 209 as a demonstration for an employee for OCP, Omi Consumer Products. An employee does demonstration with a gun, and then the thing malfunctions, and the guy's trying to get out of the way, but he can't. Just blows that guy to smithereens. Like, just all blood, practical blood scripts, which is awesome to see. Which the remake, you get none of that. It's PG-13 rated, and just has nothing of that impact of any of the sort. And just even when the guy goes down, the Ed still keeps shooting, just still getting hacked to bits. Awesome death scene. Such a badass death scene, I would say. Just, But Miguel Ferrer is able to pick up the pieces, saying that he's ready with his program, the Robocop program. Poor schmuck to volunteer. And of course, we're better than Peter Weller, because he gets separated from his partner, like as Nancy Allen said. He gets brutally murdered, like Clarence Barker, with just blows his arm off, shoots him all the crap, and then puts him in the bull in the head. And then, yeah, this is a brutal death scene for Peter Weller, and I felt sorry for the character, and you feel sorry for him even more as the film goes on, and this shows from his point of view being turned into Robocop. From his point of view, as the time's going on, and they said that sorry about that. But it's shown from his point of view that he's being transformed into Robocop. Like, they were able to save his arm, but no, take it off. And behold, an iconic character, well known today still. And does a demonstration of the shooting range, and Nancy Allen recognizes the trait that Alex Murphy did with the gun. And he gets sent down to the city and takes out some criminals. Like, for one, like, two guys are about to rape this one woman, and then Robocop shows up and shoots the guy right in the freaking ding-a-ling. And he's like, "Your move, creep." Just total badass. And even one guy was trying to holding up a convenience store, guy starts shooting at him and just throws him into one of those drink holders, the things that he still have to sell drinks in. Throws him into that, and he's like, "Have a good day." I forgot. I think he said that line. I forget though, but it was some of a line like that. And then there was like a congressman guy holding up some hostages. He goes in, breaks through the wall for the other when the other guy is on the other side where the guy is on, and throws his ass out the window. And he's a hit on the news. And but Ronny Cox, it's because he's a sore loser that well, Miguel Ferrer, he's not all sunshine and rainbows himself though. He's a little bit of a, you know, an ass himself though. But he's just pushing Ronny Cox's buttons, saying even though he's not afraid what he has to say though. But Ronny Cox doesn't like what he has to say, and of course that gets him killed later, and which Ronny Cox hires Kurtwood Smith, which he's at his house, goes to Miguel Ferrer's house. He's sniffing cocaine and sniffing off even cocaine off of women's boobs, and yeah, it shows how he's not all a good guy either though. But gets his legs capped, and so it gives a message to him from Ronny Cox. I'm cashing you out. Sets the bomb. Miguel Ferrer dies, and Nancy Allen. Well, before that, Robocop. He's in his chair he's at, and he's getting dreams from his old life. And this is where from Robocop. Now he's mostly a machine though, but the story goes basically him regaining basically his humanity back because he's having his dreams from his old life when he was a human. Like shows a from his because he had a wife and a son, and when he goes to the house that it's been sold out, and he's going through the house and seeing what memories have happened in this part of the house with his wife and son, and shows that they were a happy family, and now they found out that his family have moved on, started over, and you felt sorry for the guy because now he's dead. They thought he was dead, but his family's moved on without him, and you felt sorry for the character when he gets to the part when he gets angry because there's this monitor, like it's like a realtor monitor, and he punches one out because he's angry. And Lewis, Nancy Allen, tells him, Murphy, it's you, because she knows who he is, and goes to their one of the bad guys of Kurtwood Smith is actually what was the guy? Paul McCrane. He played Deputy Briggs in the remake of The Blob. He was the deputy. By the end of the film, the Blob folds him in half. That's the cop from the remake of The Blob. He plays one of the bad guys. He's holding up a gas station, and Robocop sees him dead or alive, you're coming with me, because Paul McCrane, he recognizes that quote that he said earlier. It's you're dead. We killed you. And Robocop's recording all this, and he's trying to get the gas station explodes, and he manages to shoot him off his bike. He's like, "Who are you?" But he gets that information, and he goes back to the police station and gets information about the criminals that killed him, saying that he's deceased. And they break to this drug dealer's drug factory, shooting up bad guys left and right, and beats up Kurtwood Smith, spilling his guts that he worked for Dick Jones, Ronny Cox's character. He's like, book him to the police station. What charge? He's a cop killer. And Kurtwood Smith spits in the paper just give me my effing phone call. And he tries to go to Ronny Cox, but his program has Directive 4 that he cannot do any employee that works for this company. So Ed 209 chases him, but he falls down. It's not good with stairs, so it falls down the stairs. The police are shooting at him, saying that he's attacked Ronny Cox, but it's a lie. They're shooting at him. Nancy Allen gets him, rescues him, brings him to the steel mill. Takes off his helmet, which is not. It's not like with Judge Dredd in Stallone's film. He has basically no helmet at all, but has on for most of the film towards the end of the film where he finally takes off his helmet to see. Because it's only his face, so this is the remainder of his human form. And Nancy Allen tells him about his family. Once again, he feels sorry for the guy. and even later it helps him with his shooting because he's like baby food. And Kurtwood Smith talks to Ronny Cox. It gets him some more new weapons. Gets his mixes with his gang. Go to the steel mill. Peter Weller shoots one guy, and Paul McCrane is the guy from The Blob. He gets the van and he drives into a vat a container of toxic waste, and you get this awesome looking effect that how the guy is like all melting. It's like, oh, oh, help me. And when Kurtwood Smith he's driving, he's not paying attention. That guy, he's standing in the middle of the road, gets splattered in front of on the windshield of the car. Another awesome death scene, just like gets splattered all over the car. And Kurtwood Smith shoots Nancy Allen, but she's still alive, and she gets that one gun and kills one of the bad guys that drops the steel on Robocop. And he's stabbing into him, and he's screaming out in pain, and he's like, "Sayonara, Robocop," and gets the thing that he used like to get the info from. Stabs it right in the neck, and gets a burst of blood, bloody death. He's all, and he's like, "Lewis," and he's like, "I'm hurt, Murphy. It's all right. They'll fix you. They fix everything." So he drives back to OCP. Ed 209's like, "You're parking illegally," but Robocop doesn't give a shit. He just takes that gun, blows up Ed 209 halfway up. He goes into the board meeting, tells Ronny Cox he's guilty of murder, and plays the recording that he told him that he killed Miguel Ferrer. And he told Daniel O'Hurley, he's the guy who's the head of the place. He's called the Old Man. I know I've seen him in other films too, though. Daniel O'Hurley. He holds him at hostage, and because of his directive, he can't hurt anybody from the member of this company. But the Old Man says, "Dick, you're fired!" Terminates him as an employee. He's like, "Thank you." Shoots him. And as he falls out the window, Ronny Cox, I would say the only thing I have to say about this film is the way he falls out the window, the effect of him falling out does not hold up still today. I will give it that, though. It's not that good of an effect when the way he's falling out the window looks like a bad stop-motion effect, though. Besides that, that's the only nitpick I have about it. And then Daniel O'Hurley's like, "Nice shooting, son. What's your name?" And then Peter Weller smiles, shows now that he's like has his humanity back, smiles and says, "Murphy." Then title Robocop with the great score by Basil Polidoris. I mispronounced his name though. I love that score by him. Like I said, what more I can say about Robocop? I love this film. It's definitely many people say it's definitely a classic, one of the best from the 80s. One of the best action films, to a lot of people say. I would agree to that. It's just a class, more than just a classic. It's, I would say, an action slash, well, it has a little bit of sci-fi though, but maybe I'll say an action masterpiece, because I personally have no problems with this movie, except for that little nitpick with Ronny Cox's death at the end though. But still, no problems with this film at all. Love Peter Weller. He's excellent, fantastic as Robocop. Nancy Allen, she was also very good as well. Even though she's not large in the film, but she's in it sporadically, but still able to help Robocop, help tell him, help regain some of his humanity, but mostly it's Peter Weller doing it on his own, though. Ronny Cox, great bad guy, same with Kurtwood Smith. Paul McCrane, like I said, from The Blob, I like him as well. Daniel O'Hurley, he's in a little bit throughout with as the Old Man. The late Miguel Ferrer, may he rest in peace. He also did a really good job as well. Love the score. It's easily fast-paced. It did well at the box office. It opened the same weekend as Jaws of Revenge, which it's easily to decide which one is better by a long shot for miles. But it was not a huge hit. It made $53 million, a budget of about 13. Still was a hit, and of course led to the 1990 sequel, Robocop 2, which is a good sequel, nonetheless. Just excellent making by Paul Verhoeven. Great special effects, especially the Ed 209 and the Robocop suit. The the blood and gore is there, especially with that employee got shot to death by the Ed 209, Peter Weller's human death, blown to bits, and the Kurtwood Smith get jammed in the neck and burst of blood, and everything was so great about this film. Love it to death. A lot of people say the same thing. It's just awesome, beyond awesome, I would say. So I don't know more I can say. Like, what can I say? What can I say? What can I say that it's already been told about this film that many people have already said. So yeah, 30th anniversary of Robocop. Still beloved to this day. And this is where the remake has nothing on this film. Nothing. Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton though, but he's nothing bad guy. The guy who plays Robocop, he's nothing at all. Even when before he becomes Robocop, just his death before as Robocop is nothing at all. It's just lame. It has nothing with the whole character of Robocop. You know, he's been brought back as a machine, but later self-discovers himself, brings his humanity back, and you feel sorry for the character, especially with his family and stuff. I got nothing out of that remake. Nothing. So yeah, I don't. If I ever review that one day, which is gonna be not for a while, because I'm gonna need a lot of strength to review that. It's gonna be a rant without a doubt though. But I'm not reviewing it anytime soon, so not for a while. And I'll eventually get to the other two sequels as well. But for now, because I got other stuff to do, like I said about my computer and stuff, like in my previous video. So just gonna have to wait till then. But 30th anniversary of Robocop, definitely 2 thumbs up. It's still well loved to this day. Badass, classic, masterpiece, classic icon nonetheless. Peter Weller, love him as Robocop. Let's say cast, score, pacing, effects, gore, blood. Love that it's R-rated. Even some of the humor, wherever it's put in there, but the whole concept with our character feeling sorry for him, but yeah, Paul Verhoeven. I wish you would come back to make another great film, just like one more. But oh well. But that's my 30th anniversary of RoboCop. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Like I said, love RoboCop to death. Awesome. Later.